What's going on, you guys? Welcome to Roel Media. I'm deciding to do another editing kind of tutorial, and this is going to be on rolling shots, as you guys can see, of this Volkswagen. First things first, let's get this out of the way. I might have mentioned this in my previous video. I'm almost positive I did, but these photos were shot in JPEG because this was prior to when I was able to shoot RAW. Because prior, like when I took these pictures, I only used Photoshop to edit at the time, not Lightroom, and for some reason I was not able to process RAW on Photoshop for whatever reason. But now that I'm using Lightroom, I always shoot in RAW, and again, this wasn't around that time. So we're gonna be editing rolling shots. I'm showing you guys how I edit them. We're gonna go from here in Lightroom simply over to Photoshop then to finish things up. So it'll be kind of like a two-part thing. I'm gonna actually just edit this one photo here, this one. So let's start off with some things. Now, as you guys can see, the sun's in the background, like the sun's behind us. So I like to make things warm, warming things up. So just a little bit, just a tad. Right there is good in my opinion. I want to turn the exposure up just a little bit here because it is a little bit of a darker image. And then I like to not that much. I like to add contrast just ever so slightly. Highlights I typically turn down, not all the way. It depends on the image, but for the most part. But since the sun is actually super bright, we're actually gonna turn this up just a little bit actually. Shadows, I like to add for this one because, and now clarity, like I've mentioned, guys, and some people didn't think it was cool that I put it up the whole way. It depends on the image. Like that, I personally think is a little bit too much, too sharp. But a little bit like there, definitely not bad. And like I said, I like to turn up vibrance and turn down saturation. It kind of gives like this, like a washed effect that I honestly like a lot. Oh yeah, I already mentioned to you guys, I don't play with that. I do like this dehaze effect. It actually, gotta be careful with it, sometimes it's strong. Yeah, to me that's a little bit too much. Maybe we'll put it about 15, 14, whatever. Let's see. I honestly think that's good for Lightroom so far, and I will show you guys the before and like the after pretty much. So as you guys are able to tell from this image here, this is the the edited one, and if we simply just reset it, we can see pretty much where we went. So, but first things first, I'm definitely going to want to export this to my desktop, is where I export these, and they export in JPEG. Now, real quick, let's see. I actually would like to export this one as a TIFF file, only because it is pretty much like a RAW file. You still have, it's hard to explain, but I took a class and they told me if RAW doesn't work to use TIFF. Now I don't know anything about any of this stuff, so we're just going to export it as a TIFF file, and then we'll open that back in Photoshop, and it'll kind of be, like, even though this wasn't shot in RAW, I don't know if that'll help or not. I guess we'll find out. So while that exports, I wrote down my things here on a sticky note, the exposure and everything I had it set at, just so I'd remember, and then we'll export the original photo, and then we can kind of compare the two and see the difference, and I think it's awesome. So let's let this bitch export. Come on, any day now. I cannot wait till I get this new computer, guys. It's going to be lit. I'm going to have tons of tutorials, tons of cool things. Of course, not responding. What is going on? Wait a second. Just give her a second. Just give her a second. Let's see if we can click on anything. Sometimes, okay. It's taking a crap. This is my prime example to why I probably shouldn't have fucking rendered that as a TIFF file, but prime example to why I can't wait for a new computer. Okay, hold on. Okay, she was done. Now, again, edited, click that reset button, and look at that. That's crazy. So now when we export this, and again, we'll go back to this, we're gonna compare three images. The original, which is not gonna be exported as a TIFF, it's gonna be exported as a JPEG. Turn that quality up all the way. Okay. Yes, so we're gonna look at this image right here that you guys are seeing on the screen. That is the original, obviously. The previous one I just exported, and then the Photoshop. We'll compare the three. See, and again, you guys can either pick things up here, because again, these are kind of like tips, or you guys can do with whatever you'd like. And let's open up Photoshop, and I'll see you guys in Photoshop. Alright, so we're opening these two images here in Photoshop real quick. The one we're pretty much going to leave alone, and then the other one we are going to edit, which is going to obviously be the TIFF file. So, oh, okay, so let's see, is that much current? I'm going to click this, and maybe that will Okay. Okay, yeah, so, whatever. I'm not sure. I'm kind of a noob here, guys, so if anybody knows anything about that. But yeah, we can see the difference between the two. Definitely a difference. So, the one thing I have, which, I mean, I don't have any links in the description, but I pretty much got this from some other guy who put a link in the description to this kind of flare thing. Here, Pete, this thing right here, it's bright AF. It's a sun flare, and it looks dope. We're going to add this in there, and then I'm going to kind of hide the layer, and then we'll worry about it. Whatever, I don't even know. Let's see what we can work with here. I clicked yes on that anyway. Something about depth, but let's not worry about that right now, because maybe we can fix some things real quick. Oh yeah, look at that, she bright. You put this over here somewhere, like that, kind of gives you that dope effect. So, and as you can see, but what we're gonna want to do is some things, and I honestly forget the order that they did this in, but yeah, actually, let's see. Okay, gradient. I'm sorry, I'm trying to remember as I'm doing this with you guys. That's the thing. I think they clicked this one. Radial. I watched a tutorial on this kind of like soft light effect, and I'm trying to remember it while I kind of record something. It's hard to explain, but you guys might understand. Okay, so after that, hue and saturation, I believe. No, I'm wrong. I think it was color balance or something is what. Let's see. Nope, I'm lying. What the hell was it? Come on. What do you got here? It probably was hue and saturation. Yeah, it was. I'm lying. I am lying. Okay, so we're gonna saturate a little bit more. I think they messed with the lightness, which I only like slightly up because it looks a little strange. After that, I believe it was the vibrance is what was adjusted ever so slightly, and it was just a bunch of these things added up. And then again with this sun flare, now you can drag a sun flare, or you maybe have your own, to almost the bottom. I don't like putting it behind the gradient because to me it just looks strange. Like if we were to drop it, no, maybe not. I guess it kind of depends on the photo. But if we kind of like transform the size of this thing, we can make it a little bit bigger. Sorry, excuse the lagginess in this freaking computer. Okay, we're gonna go with that. We're gonna hit enter and let that bitch load. As you can see, it's got to do its thing. This is exactly why I am looking so forward to this freaking computer whenever I get the damn thing. And I've been saying that plenty of times, and that's simply because the Skrilla. I mean, I have the money for it right now, but at the same time, it's whatever. So let's try to move this thing up and to the right just a little bit. It's gonna be a little laggy and shit. Honestly, I'm gonna be honest here. I don't know if I like the gradient. Wait, crap, the computer, man, the computer. Turn off the gradient, let it do it, yeah. I personally like it without this gradient. That's just my personal opinion. But it gives it that soft light effect. Now again, this is completely, up to you guys whether you like this or not. But personally, I myself do. So we're gonna export this. Oh crap. Oh wait, never mind. That's as a TIFF. Okay, as a JPEG, obviously. I'm gonna put another 2 at the end of this, and then we will compare the 3. And I'm sorry this video is kind of running into the 9-minute mark, but I did want to bring you guys kind of a cooler video. And again, I'm still learning with this, which I think it's cool, because hopefully one day I can look back at this and just be like, wow, I sucked. But as long as other people like it and they kind of enjoy the videos, that's all that matters. As you guys know, this is kind of like my spam channel, where I just decide, you know what, I'm going to upload this, I'm going to upload that, I'm not feeling this. So, and I think it's cool, because I've been learning so much the past couple of days, past week, actually, and I've just been itching to go out and shoot photos so badly, and I am actually shooting photos on a GT350, which is dope. I have a couple cars lined up, nothing crazy, but probably the best thing out of all of those is the GT350, which is obviously a beautiful car, as we all know. And that'll be sick. So let's let this thing continue to glitch and take a crap on me. And in the meantime, I will see you guys when this is done taking a shit. Alright, so here we go. Original photo, dark, boring, whatever. Really wish I would have been shot in RAW, but it wasn't. Again, boring, but that's okay. Move over here, Lightroom. It spruces it up a lot, and again, for not being a RAW image, it still brings out a lot. Definitely, and it's awesome. You can definitely see the difference there. I'm bringing it into Photoshop, and now pretty much all we did in Photoshop was obviously that sunbeam glare effect, and it's a personal thing that I like. I've been on the grind of that. I don't know, like, it's just me, but I've been really feeling that lately. But if we go through all three, you can see the progression, and it's awesome. It's awesome. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want more tutorials, if you have anything that you have any questions or honestly tips or recommendations, please leave them in the comment section, and make sure to hit that subscribe button, guys. And thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys all enjoy the rest of your day.